Hello daily drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft, our final week of Lord of the Rings drafts here on the channel. It's been a long format. We will finish this format with 25 drafts, not including 2 early access and not including about 6 or 7 live streamed drafts here on the channel. So we are finishing with somewhere in the vicinity of 35 drafts, which is kind of insane. Ton of drafts here on the channel. This is the place to be if you love seeing the drafts of the latest set. We're going to dive into Pack 1 Pick 1 here, and it's an interesting one. I've had the pick of Horn of Gondor Pack 1 Pick 1 before and chose not to take it. There's Gandalf Sanction, there's Nazgul, and there's Birthday Escape all in this pack as well. All of these are really, really good cards. Horn of Gondor just isn't the kind of deck that I like to play because it's so high variance. For those of you that watch, I'm going to go ahead and, take Nazgul here. I do love a Gandalf Sanction. Horn of Gondor, I played on Friday against a Horn of Gondor, and I was able to beat it, but I think they could have played a little bit better with the card. The issue is I don't like a ton of the humans in the set, particularly red-white as a deck, and drafting Horn of Gondor first, and then they remove the 1/1, sometimes it could just sit there and do literal stone cold nothing over the course of the game. It's a little expensive to activate. It's tough. Nazgul is just a very solid uncommon in the best color in the set, so it's very difficult to just pass up on a Nazgul. So what are we looking at pack 2 here? A really, really underwhelming pack is what we're looking at. There's Survivor is the only blue card. There's Troll. But you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take Great Hall of the Citadel and open up some sort of multicolor, legendary, maybe green-black base deck where we can splash multiple legends off of potentially multiple Great Halls of the Citadel. But now we follow it up with a very easy Dunland Crebain. Interestingly, a similar-ish pack. There's Theoden, there's Rally. So we could have had a red-white deck, but like I mentioned with Horn, it's a little expensive to activate. And if that's all you're doing every turn and you're not adding to the board, it can kind of, as soon as they play Fear Fire Foes or the Black Breath, then it's like, oh, now what do I do? But getting into black is just very easy to do and a very good plan here in the format. All right, boy, we are getting some very underwhelming packs, to say the least. There's a Horn of the Mark, but this is much more of an aggressive card, probably more for red-white. There's Barrow Blade. Easterling Vanguard's not a black card that I like. There's Wizard's Rockets. There's a few white cards, and there's I think Enraged Horn is the best card here. Again, if we're thinking maybe Great Hall can open some legendary nonsense up, then green-black is probably the base we want to be in. And we already have one Ring Tempter. A second Ring Tempter probably isn't the end of the world here. So we'll go ahead and take the Enraged Horn. All right, Erkenbrand. Look at this red-white deck passing us by. But every time I have tried to draft red-white, I've had Erkenbrand, I've had Shadowfax, I've had Theoden, I've had Riley at the Hornburgs. I've never gone better than 2-3. I can't figure the deck out. Or I just get very unlucky. I really don't know. So what do we do here? Should we take an Ent's Fury? Ent's Fury is pretty good with Nazgul. It's great with Enraged Horn. Mirror Guardian, I don't think that's super relevant. We could take Banish from Edoras and maybe toe the line between green-black and white-black. I'm going to take the Ent's Fury. It goes well enough with the cards that we have that I think it's worth taking here. We are just not getting the good cards today. There's a Glorious Gale and a Council's Deliberation, an Ungol Patrol, Gorbag of Minas Morgul. I mean, all of these cards are not great. I'm going to go ahead and take Glorious Gale in the event that blue ends up being open. And maybe we can fill in blue-black. Do people not like Scroll of Isildur? I think this card is, quite good. Why do I keep seeing it pick 6, 7, 8? I'm going to take it. I don't know why it's still here. Ooh, Fiery Inscription, pick 8. There's no way Gandalf Sanction wheels, does it? Well, if there's nothing else here, let's take Gandalf Sanction. Or, I mean, let's take Inscription. Okay. So, Sanction doesn't wheel, as I expected it not to. There's also Nasty End and Bag-In Porter for the green-black deck. There's Isolation for some sort of maybe blue-red spells could be open here. I guess I'll take Isolation. I think blue-red spells is a better deck. Restoration wheeled, Nasty End wheeled. I'll take Nasty End. And now we're getting some more blue. Treason is decent in blue-red decks when you can kind of throw a bunch of spells in the yard and then choose one to put back on your deck. What are our best cards so far? Inscription in blue-red. There's a Quarrel's End for blue-red. That's not the end of the world. More blue-red cards. Not ones I care about, but let's go ahead and see what we get in pack 2. But a Smeagol Helpful Guide. So I think this comes down between Smeagol and Lorien Revealed. And the question is, which deck do I want to draft? Currently we have Scroll, Isolation, Fiery Inscription, Quarrel's End, Glorious Gale. I think we have a really good start to what I think is one of the best decks in the format in blue-red here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Glorian Revealed and ideally look to get into blue-red and get rewarded with the Flames of Anor here. So I think we're probably going to go ahead and lock in blue-red at this point. You know, Nazgul, Dunlin, Crebain early, but then didn't see any black except for a couple late Nasty Ends. But that's usually how it goes in this format. It's not easy to draft black. People really love to draft black ahead of you. So we'll go ahead and take Flames of Anor, and I guess, ooh, wow. Well, we successfully cut off black from the player to our left here. At least there's a Lorien revealed for us, but I mean, I guess we could take Nazgul, but this is about the pick you really have to decide on what you're doing. And am I going to miss a second Lorien revealed in the event that we go back into black here? I think it's a trap to try to get back into black. Once you've decided that black is not open in your seat, getting back into it is kind of a trap. So I'm just going to stay the course here. See, now we've just got Mirkwood Bats and Snarling Warg in black, and that's not good enough. So we'll take an Isolation. Now, granted, there's no red card in the pack and only one blue card. I think our neighbor might have taken that Gandalf Sanction and is drafting blue-red underneath us here, but we'll get rewarded in pack 3. Fairly confident with that. Excuse me? Rangers of Ithilien, pick 5? Yes, please. I would love a Birthday Escape, but I'm not passing up a pick 5 Rangers of Ithilien. Lancer, Isolation number 3. I'm not super high on Isolation, but we already have one Fiery Inscription, and this deck doesn't like to play a lot of creatures. We're not going to have a ton of Ring Tempters necessarily. Alright, well, we'll keep cutting blue and red cards here. Again, alright, that's a pretty late Rivendell. Just extra value land here. Just going to go ahead and cut blue and red cards, and I think we're going to get rewarded in pack 3 here. Currently have 14 playables. I'm fine playing with already 9 spells, so no legendaries to make Great Hall worth anything. Either, same thing with Mirror. But in pack 3, I do believe we will get rewarded from this side. If they weren't already in black, we kind of put them into black, passing them Nazgul and all that kind of stuff. And we have a couple cards we could put in the deck if we had to. But everything here so far seems okay. And a Knights. Alright, what do we find in pack 3? Not a lot for us, honestly. There's Improvised Club, which I think it's good to have a copy of this in most blue-red decks. It represents 6 damage with a Fiery Inscription on the battlefield. It's good with Quarrels, and it's good with any other blue amass that we get. Elrond is not great in this deck because we're not very high creature count. Another Treason is fine, not outstanding. We're not super high creature count for Dreadful. I think we have to take the Improvised Club. You know what? There might be a world where we're still blue-black. So I switched to Dunland Crabane last second there because we do have this kind of a blue-black deck. We have Inscription and Flames in red here, so we're not 1000% committed anyway. Shadow of the Enemy, I think, is a trap here. I think this is where I take Club over Berserker. And we're looking for some Rally at the Hornburgs and things as well. I don't think Berserker is good enough to make me question my path anymore. Unfortunately, this whole pack is bad for just about everyone. There's Eorith, there's Breaking of the Fellowship, which isn't a card I particularly like, but it is kind of removal. Guess I take it here. Alright, so something has gone wrong. It's also just one of those drafts that there wasn't a lot of super powerful cards opened at the table or passed to us. We never saw a single Claim the Precious. We never saw a single Smite the Deathless. We passed on the Sanction pack 1. Here's a Birthday Escape over Shagrat. A second Rivendell. Unfortunately, I don't think we can take 2 Rivendells because you can only play 1. And you can't, like, cycle the other one. Guess I'll take another Club here. See, black is 100% gone. So, gosh, Book of Mazarbul pick 8, though. So, like, just one of those very strange drafts. We just never saw a lot of the good cards. Look, here's all the blue and red cards that just wield. Currently have 14 spells and another Treason's, a 3-mana 2/2 that rebuys a spell for us. Better than Gimli, I think. Maybe we can play a Lancer, and by maybe I mean we might have to. Didn't really get the legendaries for the Great Hall, unfortunately. So, not exactly where you want to be with the blue-red deck, but Fiery Inscription against other control decks is just a win con. Didn't get any rallies, no Smite the Deathless, I mean, no Deceive the Messenger. We didn't get any of the best cards for the deck, unfortunately. I think we're still cutting the black because it's either... Yeah, we have too many red cards that we basically have to play here, and now we have to put in 3 more bad cards to make this deck finished here. Didn't get any land cyclers outside of the 2 revealed, so didn't get any Oliphants or Trolls. Surrounded by Orcs is bad. Kingfisher is another 3-drop. Captain of Umbar is another 3-drop. Inherited Envelope, another 3-drop. Gimli's Axe, not for this deck. What do we care about that has spells? I guess Double Treason And Inscription cares about spells here. The Book of Mazarbul, I mean, it's a good card, but really not in this deck, unfortunately. Do we have anything that makes artifacts that we can throw? No. So we have to play, like, Surrounded by Orcs, a Kingfisher, and then another Kingfisher, and just trade these off and get some extra card advantage. 17 lands or 16 lands. We have Birthday Escape, Lancer, Breaking, Scroll, Inscription, Rangers, all as Ring Temptation, which isn't a ton, but it's not unreasonable we get to level 2. I think I'd actually like 6. Well, if I played 16 lands, I gotta put another bad card in my deck. So let's just do 17 and run it back like this and see if we can eke out 3 wins with this mediocre blue-red nonsense and a draft that was quite difficult to navigate. See you in Game 1 after a quick message from me. Thanks, me. Whether you're ready or not, we have another set releasing here very soon, and that means it's time to take a look at the Patreon page to get yourself prepared and ready. I pride myself in my Patreon being incredibly affordable, beginning at just $1 per month, which comes with lifetime access to the Daily Drafters Discord server. After all, it's well less than half the cost of your morning cup of coffee and goes to giving back to the channel. For just $3 per month, you can gain early access to every upload here on the channel as soon as I am done editing them. And my most expensive level of support is just $5 per month. That's right, $5 is the highest level of support, and patrons in this tier gain access to my expansive, exhaustive, and interactable tier lists, of which you can see a small sample of here. You get to see how I rate every single card in the set from A to F, whether or not the card has moved up or down since the last update, and you can hover over the card name to see a clickable link that brings you straight to Scryfall, and I customize these lists for every single draftable archetype in the format. Looking to see how a card fits in blue-white versus black-white? I've got you covered. Again, all these tiers are incredibly affordable, so go ahead and check them out. And if a monetary donation isn't your speed, a subscription to the channel is always contribution enough. Thanks so much for your consideration. Well, oof, look at this not great hand here. We are on the draw. We have Scroll to stem the bleeding a little bit, Isolation to remove something, Treason to get Isolation back, draw a bunch of more cards. I'll keep it for that reason, but I don't want to see an aggressive start from the opponent at all. I do think I'm land cycling here. There's an aggressive start from the opponent. I think I'm trading off this Lancer for a 1/1, as bad as that feels. We have all the card draw and ways to rebuy cards here. I just need to survive. Bilbo. Yikes. That is a card we did not see in the draft. Book of Mazarbul. Okay. I would probably like to rebuy one of these isolations here, so I think I'm gonna... You know what I should have done is tap the 1/1 down and then used Isolation on their 3/3 here. I think that was the better play. But unfortunately, next turn, their creatures get +1/+0 and Menace, and they still are going to have a bunch of creatures here. See, now I'm kind of priced into just getting rid of their 3/3, so... I mean, or getting rid of Bilbo, I guess? We're not blocking Bilbo next turn. They have 4 cards in hand. I'll get rid of Bilbo here. Ring tempts them again, because Bilbo is a busted card. And now we have a woefully mana inefficient turn. I think we just have to isolation their 3/3. Said I hope they don't have an aggressive deck here, and of course they have an aggressive deck. So that's great. I'm gonna bluff Stern Scolding here. Alright, they ran right into it, but good for them. See, Breaking the Fellowship really just does not do it here, unfortunately. Like, I can treason and put back isolation and try to kill Bilbo again, then they go to level 4, then they hit us even more. Just constantly try to remove their threats, I guess. But Bilbo's still hitting us no matter what. And then we try to remove Bilbo, they put the ring over here, they hit us with 4, and I'm seeing the writing on the wall at the end of this game. So obviously this draft went quite poorly, but as I say, but haven't said in a while, I like to post literally every single thing I draft here, win or lose, because there are games and there are drafts that, you know, we don't all succeed at. I just had a 7-0 a couple days ago, and this is probably going to be potentially the exact opposite at an 0-3. And yet, I'm still going to post it here for you because I'm transparent. That's what I do. Win or lose, I want you to still see just a large quantity of games, and that's what I do. So, all right, Breaking of the Fellowship, are you gonna do anything, or are they gonna counter it? No. Okay, Bilbo died. They get another instance of ring temptation, and then we're going to isolation their ring bearer here. And I don't think we can race. Although, I don't know what we're going to do to win. They don't have an instant, notably. I think that's okay. So what do we do next turn? Oh, and they get ring tempted again, sure. So we have to isolation this thing, take 4 here. They did leave a card on top. I'm sure it's a counter spell. There's the counter spell. Arwen's Gift. We'll surely draw them into more action here. War Beast of Gorgoroth. Basically nothing we can draw to get out of this at this point. And an island certainly won't do it. So, alright, let's see if we can have great gameplay get us through this draft. Perfect. Can I interest you in a mulligan to assist us further? Alright, that card is bad, so we'll put that one away. Alright, nothing but 3 drops. Black, White, Cavalier. Okay. Berserker, just playing creatures that we can't really deal with. Next turn we take 5. If we play Inscription, can we even keep up? Well, we're about to find out, because I don't know of another way we can win. On 5 mana we can play... 5 mana we can play Book of Mazarbul, sacrifice that 1/1 to Improvise Club to kill something. Stem the bleeding a little bit. Next turn we're probably playing Isolation. What do you do again? 5 damage to a creature at instant speed. Okay, go ahead. Take 5 down to 8. Really hope we draw a land so we can book and club. This is where, you know, drafting No Smite the Deathless really hurts in this deck. It was just one of those really bad drafts. One of the bad draft kind of days, you know. Can't always win. Alright, go ahead and get rid of that. Take 2. Oh, they go to level 4 because of the Black Breath, so we're taking 5. And now we're dead to both of these creatures here. Alright, Lorien revealed you are never getting cast. So we block Eastmark Cavalier and we deal 5 to the other one. And if they have a removal spell, we lose. Yeah. Okay, let's see if they have removal. So we have to kill something. No choice but to block. Perfect. Book of Mazerbold doing its best. Stalwarts, Ring Temptation, put it here, can't be blocked, die. Alright, get ready for what could be the shortest video of the entire format. Alright, we go first with, again, a woefully horrible hand here that we will obviously keep, because why wouldn't we? What are we here to do? We're going to think there's going to be a better hand hiding for us? Do not think so. Here's the plan. We play Book of Mazerbold. We amass up to 6 after casting Surrounding of Orcs, and they never deal with our creature, and then we win. Seems pretty good to me. Seems like a wonderful plan. Alright, Book, do your worst. Grima Wormtongue. Alright, like I said, we amass up to 6 and they can't do a darn thing about it. And we'll just keep hitting them over and over and over again, and that'll be the end of the game. Never mind. They had claimed the precious. Why wouldn't they? Book of Mazerbold, Chapter 3, doing work again. Look at these clubs. Look how wonderful they are with this board. Outstanding deck building. Do this. I think we play Birthday Escape, play Island, or play Rivendell actually. Hold up Glorious Gale and Club. Six mana, what you got? Generous Ent or something? There we go, Generous Ent. Another island. What a draw. Errand Rider of Gondor. Well, I can't get rid of 2 legendary creatures here, so you get to draw a card. Bill the Pony with plenty of food now. No thanks, Bill. That means they have to tap Wormtongue now if they want to. Or they can use Bill's activation to make Wormtongue hit as a 5/5. Okay, looks like they'll do that instead. Rangers. Well, that's a draw, I suppose. Quarrels End. Quarrels End also seems pretty good. Go to draw. Play Rangers. Steal Wormtongue. Leave it here. Go to combat. Up here. Draw. Discard. End the turn, and now a mountain off the top. So do we hit them in the face, or do we hit like their errand rider or something? Or do we hit the Wormtongue here? Well, we're taking 2, so we got a 5, taking potentially a few more here. So let's do this. Oh my gosh, I'm dumb. I should have sacrificed my own Wormtongue, then they wouldn't have gotten that back. What am I doing? Sacrifice the Wormtongue that you just stole. That would have been the play. Sure. Alright, so if you're still drafting Lord of the Rings here, you know what not to be doing in the format, and it is whatever happened in this video. Clearly, sacrifice Wormtongue, kill their own creature. Build a pony, can gain them 6 more life. They're at 17. We have to get rid of Bill. How do we survive here? I mean... Is Scroll good enough? We get rid of Bill, we attack here. We draw the Scroll. We get rid of the mountain. We cast Scroll next turn. We trade off Kingfisher. Have to do this now, otherwise they could sacrifice it to Wormtongue. They could also activate these next turn. So we do this. Now we plan on trading? Oh god, and they top deck a Generous Ent? Can deal a damage to us every turn with this combo. 1 top, still build a pony. Breaking can get rid of Grima Wormtongue here. They're getting so much food, though. We still need 5 mana, so if we do this, this, and this, we can still cast both of these cards. Inscription? I mean... I don't see treason being fast enough here, so we do this. Go to draw. Go to main. Do this here. Leave it there. Do this, steal one of their foods. And now this hits for more. And now we know they're drawing Build a Pony, so have to chump with the 1/1. They just have gotten so much food off of Bill. Obviously don't need those. Go to draw, draw one anyway, go to main, tap these down. Inscription. We have 10 cards left in deck. I don't know if we can outrace this. Golem, okay. Eat the food, go to 11. Ah, did that too late. How do we survive? Isolation, the Ent, Flames of Anor, Bill the Pony. Can we cast all of these? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. That can be left back as a blocker, though. They go to 6, so if we had... If we had a way... So... 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there anything we want back on top here? I mean, another isolation probably isn't the end of the world. To draw next turn, we're casting 2 spells. We win next turn, so let's do this. Let's do... We're definitely isolationing the Ent here, so I think we have to get rid of Golem. They can get him back and tempt themselves, build a pony, but we can still block with the Lancer here. I mean, the Lancer's still a decent blocker. No reason to risk anything. I'm just gonna chump because we have a spell in hand to kill them next turn. So, yeah, that should be fine. Sacrifice Haunt, bring that back, play Golem, and die. Alright. That'll work. Somehow. We had to use every single resource in our entire deck to manage to win just barely. Alright, going on the draw again. We have Quarrel's End to make a 1/1 that we can then sacrifice to Club here, which is like the whole game plan, I suppose. So let's do this. Let's see if they choose to land cycle. They do. I will as well. Passing it back. Well, good news about Surrounded by Orcs is that it's a really good discard target to Quarrel's End. So, let's see if they counter this. That would be not great if they did. They have Saruman's Trickery too. Alright, the clean 3-for-1. Counterspell, a 1/1, and I had to get rid of 2 cards to do it. Gotta love it. Okay. Sure, you keep doing all the things here. Ring tempt you a butt ton of times. I guess we isolation their Nazgul. I mean, it gets another ring tempt in a couple turns, but next turn we Kingfisher and hold up Club, I guess. We're just like constantly on the defensive here. See if they counter this one. Glorious Gale. Yeah, I don't have a lot of creatures in the deck, so when you counter my creatures, I can't really do anything else. Get rid of 3 lands and another isolation. Sure. Boy, these clubs really aren't doing it. We just don't have creatures. We didn't get any Rally at the Hornburgs. We didn't get any Wizards Rockets or anything. putting... Alright, they're going mill plan here. Doesn't matter, we're not threatening anything. Sure. There goes scroll, more card draw. A way to get things back. We are presenting a thrilling game of Magic on our side here. Okay, go to 4. Kingfisher. Breaking of the Fellowship, Improvised Club, doesn't really matter. This will kill us anyway. Alright, so like I mentioned, I post every draft. Win or lose, you're going to see this one. As painful as it was to record. In 35 drafts of a format, some of them don't go very well. Today was one of those. So let's hope that our final 2 drafts can go slightly better than today. Send me the luck. I'll need it. It's been a rough format, to say the least. Thanks for sticking it out today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.